We're doing a nighttime review of the new Toyota Crown. We're gonna check out the lighting on the outside as well as the inside, but let's get this party started with some 0 to 60s with the streets empty at 4 in the morning. Flipping it into Sport S mode, we're gonna torque brake. Okay. There's 60 and 5.65 to 60 miles an hour and 6.04 to 100 kilometers per hour. I think this just edged out the upscale Lexus RX 500h F Sport Performance, which has the exact same powertrain as that. Now, this being a car, oh, there goes my drag meter. This being a car, you know, it makes sense that this would be a little bit quicker, but it is kind of a lifted sedan. It doesn't feel that much quicker, but I'm telling you, I feel like this had a harder time putting the power down compared to the RX 500h. So I don't know if the tires are different. I'll have to look that up for you guys, but we're gonna try that one more time. Resurrecting the drag meter there, torque brake. It doesn't like to rev very high. Maybe my guess is about 1500 RPM and go. It's impressive. 5.44. We're gonna call it a day on the 0 to 60. That was 0.2 faster, ladies and gentlemen. 5.44 0 to 60 and 5.84 to 100 kilometers per hour. It's definitely quicker than any Camry I've driven with the V6, that's for sure. The new Toyota Crown with its lifted sedan silhouette and fastback design, it definitely gets eyes during the day, but at nighttime, is this thing going to steal some attention as well? Well, we kind of have a triple beam headlight situation going on here. These three are your low beams, then the guy on the inside, so you could say, I guess, quad beam, that's your high beam. All four of them come on at the same time. And then this top beam is your daytime running light. So in the day, this guy is super bright up top, and it also functions as your turn signal. Now we have this bar in the middle that, to me, it looks like a daytime running light strip, but at nighttime there's nothing there. And I'm going to turn these lights off for your daytime running lights, and there's also no beam across. To me, it looks a little odd, and I think it would be pretty cool to match the front end with the back end having a light bar there. We have these amber lights on the side as well as the red lights on the back. As we come around to the back, just a simple light bar that goes across the back. I'll go ahead and play the turn indicator for you guys as well, so you get an idea of that. Seeing the Toyota badge here makes me want, you know, the Crown badge to make this vehicle stand apart in the United States. I mean, the design, if it doesn't stand apart as it is, it just would have taken it to the next level to have those Crown badges that are available over in Japan and other markets. But let's go ahead and check out the interior lighting of the new Toyota Crown. Very bright map lights behind me to illuminate the interior. Also have this halo light up top to illuminate the front. Closing the door, pretty solid door slam. Illuminated door handles. We have heated illuminated button here. The light switch has a little light on it as well. I have a tiny light in the footwell, like absolutely tiny. It's really far under as well, so it's almost pointless having that. We also have USB-C illumination back here, which is pretty good. Anything in the cup holder area? No, but it's cool to have like a flip-up cup holder. That's kind of next level. Yeah, pretty basic, and we have obviously the panoramic roof in this model. JBL sound system. Wait for my daytime review. Also a light back here, so when you open the door, you have some foot illumination at nighttime as well. But door handle illumination, buttons on the door are all illuminated. No skid plate illumination or door sill illumination down here. That's unfortunate, but we do have it on the bottom of the door panel as well. Very bright illumination here for your feet, which I think is a little overdone in my opinion. You guys can probably see even on the GoPro just how bright this is at night. All right, so let's take a step back. I really like this screen. It's taken some getting used to because it's far more advanced than typical Toyota screens, but I am enjoying it. And you can customize. It's essentially 3 different screens on here, so you can customize each individual screen. Hold down the center button and I can pop up different features here, like adaptive cruise control. I can put the map up. I'll just leave the map up because that's kind of cool. And then I can switch to over here, change miles per gallon, wait for full fuel economy because I haven't driven this vehicle a whole lot, so this is not going to be indicative of the real fuel economy of this vehicle. And then on the far right, this is customizable as well. Moving over, and then I can put tire pressure on there, power delivery to the wheels, EV driving ratio. I guess that's kind of a neat metric. I prefer to have this guy, which is mirroring this. I don't have my Android Auto plugged into this car yet because I just got it, but I think this is, I like having this up here because I'm a hybrid nerd. And I'll have this up for you guys today so you can see what the car is doing at all times. We have a nice little illumination inside the volume knob. I love that attention to detail. Physical hard touch buttons for all the climate control is excellent. We have ventilated seats in here. The power button has a nice illumination as well. USB-C is illuminated. Let's check out this 360 camera. Well, let's just put it in reverse because this still has Toyota's terrible, like, old school software built into it. Illumination at night is really good here. Now, as you guys can see from the parking lot, like, this is almost like football field quality lighting I have in this parking lot. So I don't get any blurriness or fuzziness. Looks really, really good at night. And you can just see the length of the Toyota Crown filling this entire parking spot. This thing is enormous. Moving on from the 12-inch screen, there's no illumination up here on the dash. Is there any on the bottom? No, I don't think so. That would have been awesome to have a little illumination that goes all the way across the dash here. And I feel like that would be a great accent to the front. Well, not necessarily front because they didn't illuminate the front bezel there between the headlights, but definitely it would accent the rear with that light bar that goes across. Cup holders have illumination as well, and this little removable piece you can take in and out. There we go, it's back in its place. What about the armrest? No, this is something definitely in a Lexus you would have armrest illumination, so that's kind of a bummer there. Can't tell you the quality of the digital rearview mirror. I don't believe there's one available in the Crown. I'll fact check myself if that's the truth, but it seems quite strange on a $50,000+ we don't have a digital rearview mirror here, nor do we have a head-up display. So that's, in my opinion, kind of lacking here. That would have been awesome to review at night for you guys as well if it were available. But for additional customization, let's go ahead into the lights settings. Auto on, auto off, timer, daytime running lights. You can turn those off. That's kind of neat. Illumination on the inside is this. Actually, all that does is take out the illumination on what I'm seeing on the footwell. So check this out. Nice faint glow. You can probably see my feet glowing down there. And this is what it looks like when it's on all the way. And this is what it looks like when it's about halfway on. All right, driving the new Crown. I have it in comfort mode. We do have adaptive dampers here on this Hybrid Max model. It always trips me up because Toyota has iForce Max and Hybrid Max, and they're not the same thing. Hybrid Max is front wheel drive based. This thing is quick. It's quick and effortless in its acceleration. And you get a lot of shove from that rear motor at low speeds. The last time I think I drove this was either in the RX 500H with this powertrain, I should say, or it was in the Hybrid Max Grand Highlander in Hawaii. And I'm starting to like it more and more, to be honest. I do have paddle shifters here. Which it doesn't give me a tachometer, even if I put it into Sport Plus mode. And this might be something I can customize on the customizable MID here, the 12-inch MID. It doesn't show me tachometer, but if I go ahead and, oh, it gives me gears here underneath my speedometer. So I'm in second gear now, and hammer. It pulls, and it keeps pulling pretty well. You don't get the same sort of electric push that you get from a stop because there's only so much juice this hybrid system can supply that about 100 horsepower electric motor at all times. But dang, it is very satisfying. And does it make me miss the V6? Well, I mean, it depends how reliable this is going to be, but Toyota's hybrids are traditionally extremely reliable. Now, we know this is a totally different type of hybrid for Toyota. As I do a U-turn here, the turning radius is insane on this thing. It is so good. It's a bit addictive to get into this gas pedal, but I'm going to get back into comfort mode And I feel like that's more of the true nature to this vehicle, even though it has 340 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Feels more like a Lexus at heart, just with not the same sort of attention to detail on the inside, and more importantly, the same sort of quality materials are not quite on Lexus quality. And also, like, you know, the sound insulation is really good in here, but I'm getting some A-pillar noise, which typically you wouldn't hear on a Lexus. So anyways, wait for my full review for full-on quality and just overall driving impressions, as well as fuel economy, that sort of thing, during the day. That'll be a daytime review. But I got distracted. I was talking about the powertrain. The implementation here is very, very impressive. So I've test drove this powertrain, like I said, recently in the RX 500h. And I wasn't that impressed with the smoothness of the implementation of this powertrain in that vehicle. You could say maybe it's because it was built in Canada and this one's built in Japan. I have absolutely no idea if that was the difference, but I get no weird shuddering effects at low speeds with this powertrain. It's just butter smooth all the time. I haven't had any weird glitches, hiccups, or just any disruptions with this powertrain. It's been a home run. Perfectly executed, perfectly smooth. The brakes on this thing are taking some getting used to. You really have to bury your foot pretty hard into the pedal to get this thing to stop. I mean, it is heavy. I'll go ahead and put the weight for you guys down below. I'll also put the RX 500h's weight as well, so you get an idea. They're really similar vehicles, same platform, same powertrain. Both of them have similar height for driving visibility and height. And as I'm going out here, I have a very strong spread of light, but it does cut off fairly early. Like, I would say it's maybe 100 feet, 120 feet in front of me. And I do have the automatic high beams on, which they went down when that car was coming out and then went right back up very quickly. But I feel like there's kind of like a hard cutoff with the low beams anyways, about 120 feet in front of me. So if you're going to be driving at nighttime and you would like to see further out in front, you're probably going to need those high beams on. In terms of spread of light sideways, it's pretty good. You know, I feel like the throw is still pretty forward facing. The cone, I should say, is pretty forward instead of wide, but I can, you know, we're going to find out real close here because this gets real dark up here, so I'll be able to tell you without any interference of the overhead street lamps. But let's just, oh yeah, the downshift was almost immediate. And that was one of the reasons Toyota wanted to put a 6-speed in here. I think space and packaging was one thing, but yeah, they wanted that 6-speed for responsiveness. Now, here we go with the high beams on. I can see very, very well. Not that high up into the trees, to be honest, which is a good thing. In my opinion, I don't need to be looking up into the trees, and I feel like other manufacturers have higher facing light beams from the factory. You're just going to be blinding oncoming traffic. So Toyota's done a pretty good job of keeping these high beams illuminating the road and not the sky. But let's go ahead and go to those low beams again. I'm kind of curious as I put them down here. Yeah, you know, the low beams don't go any higher than probably 2.5 feet to my side. And like I said, it's a hard cutoff at about 120 feet or so. So the high beams are a game changer. They're super, super bright and very impressive. All right, let's just bury that foot one more time. Oh gosh. You get an initial shove from the electric motor because there's no waiting around for that. But it's very mild. It's not like an electric car, at least when you're already going. When you're at a stop, you do feel kind of that electric car shove. But when you're already up to speed, it doesn't really have the same effect. And then you're waiting for that transmission to downshift, and then you get punched real hard with the turbo 4 cylinders. Leaps or heaps of torque is the right word, heaps. Man, ride quality is very good here. Now I am in the comfort mode, but even in the normal mode and even the sport mode, comfort is still really, really impressive, even with these massive 21-inch wheels. It's totally apples to oranges, but another hybrid that I'm testing this week is the Hyundai Tucson plug-in hybrid. Really like it overall. Wait for my review on that. The ride quality on this is noticeably better. How it handles the bumps in the road, it just feels a lot more stable. And you know, maybe it's because the wheelbase is more than likely bigger on this. I haven't really checked the numbers to be sure, but it sure feels like it. And it feels a lot like a raised old Lexus GX in some ways in terms of ride quality. Not quite as tight feeling maybe as the GS. You know, that kind of had more of that rear wheel drive bias. This still definitely has the front wheel drive push, and man, I feel like the car really likes to lift up when that torque kicks in when you're under full throttle. But all right, well, I'm gonna shut it down there. I really like the Crown to drive. I could easily drive this vehicle. There's a lot of comfort here. My head space though, at 6'1", my head space is definitely restricted. So if you're a taller person, even though this is a big vehicle, you might not fit in this thing. I've hit my head several times getting in and out of this. That's really the only big gripe I have. I sit up high, my eye level's like right in the middle of the rear view mirror. That's how high I'm sitting. And it kind of, there's one other vehicle that it kind of reminds me of, which is the Genesis G80 electric sedan, but that had like a massive big old battery pack on it. So you know, that increases the seat height, which reduces your head height, reduces your headroom. And I'm getting a similar sort of situation here where I bumped my head coming in and out of this vehicle. But anyways, wait for my full review. I'm sure I'll find other things that I really, really like, and other things that maybe aren't as endearing on this Toyota Crown. So welcome back, Crown. It's been fun driving you at night. It makes me, you know, the ride quality is so good in here, it's gonna put me to sleep. So anyways, gotta get back home before I nod off. Thank you guys for watching. Smash the heck out of the like button if you made it this far, and put in the comments down below, which Crown model do you want next to come to the United States? Do you want the Estate? Do you want the Crown Sport? Do you want the Crown traditional sedan that looks like, you know, maybe the successor of the Lexus GS in some ways? But I'm going to shut down there. Thank you guys for watching. Signing out from the all-new Japanese-made Toyota Crown. Have a great day and peace.